Awakening! So Fire Emblem Awakening is the 11th installment in Nintendo and Intelligent Systems' Fire Emblem franchise. Fire Emblem is a series of strategy games that's been running since the NES era, or the Famicom to be more exact, since most of the early games never left Japan. Awakening is the latest installment, released in 2013 for the 3DS. It's held as one of the best games on the 3DS, as one of the best RPGs of all time. Screw that, one of the best games of all time. What makes it better than the rest of the series though? First of all is the addition of what is known as Newcomer Mode. In standard Fire Emblem play, when a unit falls in battle, they are lost for good, they are not coming back. In Newcomer Mode, it allows them to return at the end of the level that you're doing. See, Fire Emblem is a battlefield strategy game that plays out as a sort of board game. You have all of your soldiers in the army, and you have them fight another army. Your objective is to rue the enemy or to kill the enemy general. It depends which level you're playing. One other standout feature of Fire Emblem Awakening is the story. You play as Robin, which is kind of like Link, in that it's a default name, but you really name him yourself, because he's a customizable avatar. As soon as you boot the game up, you have select his appearance, and his voice, and his name, and his birthday, and his stats, and all that stuff. Robin is found unconscious by Krom, the prince of a country called Elis, and leader of a group of soldiers called the Shepherds. Robin is amnesiac at the start of the game. He can't remember anything about his past, but over time he earns Crom's trust and joins the army as tactician. This is where you come in, because you now play as Robin to command every single one of the Shepherds in battle. Well, I say every single one, what I mean is the ones that you select, because you can't have all of your units in one fight. You have to pick your battles, choose which units you're sending in. For example, it's a bad idea to send in Pegasus Riders when there's a lot of archers on the field, because arrows are pretty much one-hit kill against Pegasi. As the plot thickens, things get very interesting, and especially towards the end, the story becomes really compelling with some great twists. One other strong point of Awakening is the characters. They're just... they're unbelievably great and memorable. There's just so much character behind these people, and they're so memorable both in design and personality, that they're the most memorable thing in the game. Especially when you bring into account the support system, which is basically when two units like each other enough they can unlock little conversations between each other. They're just a joy to read. They can be hilarious, they can be sad, heart-wrenching, heartwarming. And there's some incredible references in there, from everything from Reggie Fils-Aimé's My Body Is Ready to Taken! Yes, Taken referenced in a Nintendo game! That's something! Most units only have 3 support levels and 3 support conversations to go along with it. But certain units, namely ones that are male and female, not related, not a special character that doesn't want to marry, they'll have a 4th support conversation, known as the S rank. In this, the 2 characters will propose to each other, and then soon afterwards their kid will come back in time from the future and join your army. And some of the kids are the best characters. Looking at you, Noir, you're just so freaking hilarious. How many people do you know who go, I am the blood and thunder, I am a righteous fury, I am your future daughter. It's really something. I'll also say that I haven't rage quitted on a game quite so much in a while. I would often find myself turning my 3DS off because I made some dumb mistake and a unit died. Now, let's not forget that great voice acting work, shall we? Well, some of the acting can be a little bit bland and wooden. Every voice suits perfectly, and I could listen to some of those critical hit quotes for hours.
Now I'm angry.
You're a path, everyone!
Pick a god and pray.
Where should I stab you?
Die with magnificence. You are so dead.
I promise this will hurt.
I'm gonna kill you!
Cha-ching! Ha! Come again. And
while we're on the subject of the audio, let's not forget the soundtrack. Holy hell, the soundtrack! It's f***ing godlike! To illustrate my point, I give you Exhibit A. Pretty damn awesome, isn't it? One other detail I like about the music is how, with the standard battle themes, there's 2 different versions of it. One for when you're looking down on the board, and then one when 2 units engage in one-on-one combat with each other. I'll use Destiny as an example. No, not that Destiny, this Destiny. what it sounds like when it's on the board, and then when 2 units engage in combat, it smoothly transitions into this version. Much brassier, much more of a beat to it. It feels much more epic. Every standard battle theme has a version of this, and it's known as the Ablaze version. Incidentally, Destiny Ablaze is one of my favourite tracks in the whole game, so yeah. The look of the game is really solid too. On the standard map screen, you've got a really well-designed, pretty realistic looking, all things considered, environment, with sprites representing the different units on. Though it could be a little bit jarring, it seems to work really well. And when 2 units engage in combat and during standard story scenes, you can see actual player models for each character, and they look decent for their lack of feet. They are kind of pixely, but they work. You can tell which character is which really easily, and the designs are really well done. Everything in this game looks awesome. That's something to take home. The cutscenes look absolutely godly, though they are few and far between. They put most professional animes to shame. It looks fantastic. So, what score does Fire Emblem Awakening get? The story, it gets a 9. It's a decent story with some really good twists, as I say, and an ending that puts my current favourite Xenoblades to shame. I only dock a point because it is kind of cliche in the whole Step 1, revive evil monsters, Step 2, destroy the world, Step 3, profit. Structure that we've seen so many times in so many different games. Seriously though, that ending, woohoo! Really good, love it. For the look, it gets a 10. Everything looks smooth, everything looks polished, the 3D is used perfectly and everything looks fantastic. Cutscenes are stylised and absolutely gorgeous to look at, and sometimes I'm wondering if I'm even playing a 3DS game anymore. Characters are well designed, weapons are well designed, pretty much everything looks fantastic and unique in its own way. Sound gets a prestigious perfect 10. The voice acting, though sometimes a little bit wooden, is absolutely perfect. Each character is perfectly cast, and the critical quotes again I could listen to for hours.
Repent, sinner! In Naga's name.
Gameplay gets a 9. Everything is deep, it's detailed, it's a lot of fun to play. It really gets the cogs in your gear working, and it's just a joy to feel like you know what you're actually doing. However, I dock a point because it is a very steep learning curve. If you've never played a Fire Emblem game, like I never had, there's a lot of stuff you'll just not understand. I didn't understand the entire class system until my second playthrough, and that's a really important thing to understand. So in conclusion, Fire Emblem Awakening is one of the most enjoyable games I've ever played. It might even be my second favourite now. It's absolutely incredible. You can take it with you as well, so just sitting on the tube, casually playing one of the best games ever made. Why not? I'd say it's an absolute must-play if you have a 3DS, and even if you haven't, it's still worth picking up one for. The enjoyment score gets an almost perfect 59, with only 1 point docked for the amount of times I had to rage quit while playing Classic Mode. That brings Fire Emblem Awakening's total score with only 3 points lost to an absolutely staggering 97! 97! That means that Fire Emblem Awakening is absolutely godlike! So yeah, I'm back, bitches! Exams are over, procrastination is over, hopefully, now that they've finished Arkham City. However, I may have a new distraction of sorts. So hopefully we'll have a much more steady stream of content. I mean, a steady stream isn't exactly what goes on this channel. How long's it been since the last review? 11 months? Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're trying to start clean. That's why we've got a new intro. Hope you like that, by the way. It's a new little combination of clips, no more that little I show you watermark, and the addition of music from Fire Emblem Awakening, conveniently enough. Mastermind. It's really good. Also, you can see I've just gone back to the old review format where I just kind of rambled about the game for a bit. I decided the more orderly, segmented thing that I did with the Lego Movie. It has its points, but it always ends up feeling too forced, like I'm forcing myself to talk about stuff I don't really give a shit about. Also, if you're not aware, there's a ton of links down in the description. You can see my Ask FM, my Facebook page, my Twitter, Planet Minecraft, all sorts of stuff. All down in the description. I just want to make sure that you're aware of that if you really want to be. Anyway, enough rambling for now. I've been Ludus Defectishow, you've been amazing, and I will see you hopefully very soon for another piece of content on this channel, God forbid.